So we're going to add the dimension, but the first thing we want to do, again, when we are adding annotation, is to set the dimension style. Dimension style can be taken from our CAD standard, which is already done within the metric template. So you can download this file and use this for setting up your dimension style. So we'll type D for dimension style, and we have here the dimension style already set. Okay, but I think this is for uh, imperial. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to go to our design center and look at that metric template and go to dim style, double click, and then select the Sheridan metric dim style. So add that dim style to your drawing. Now, if we now go to the dim style, type D. Okay, we now have our Sheridan metric dim style. If you do not have one, this is how you're going to set it up. So D is the shortcut for dim style. And you first go to the symbol and arrows tab so that you are able to select architectural thick. Okay, so take a photo of this, pause, and then you go to the lines, and these are the setting. Take a photo of that. Now, it is important to go first to the symbols arrow so that you are able to change extend beyond ticks. Otherwise, we are using arrows, so there are no tick marks available. And then you go to text. You can take a photo of that. We do have the text style dim, so we might need to import that first into our drawing. Okay. And then fit, this is where we have annotative selected, and then the primary units and precision. We're not using alternate unit or tolerances. Okay, close. So we also have here the text style, so you can select the dim. I've already loaded that, but I can look at that by typing ST style, and there's our dim text style. So normally I would use for my font Simplex or Romance or City Blueprint. Okay, so they're all good, simple, and then width factor at 0.85. Normally I don't put paper text height or any value. I'll place that at 0. Okay, so I'll set that to current, close. And going back to the dim style. Now, the reason why I set up my paper or my text height to 0 is because I'm assigning the text height here, and I can change it also from here. Okay, now that we've done that, we're ready to annotate. So we'll do this one. We'll add dimensions. You need to set your layer to A01 dim. Okay, so again, the scale is set, dim style is set, text style is set. So I'm just going to maximize this. And then first thing you'd like to dimension is the room sizes. Okay. So you go here, and you select linear. So there are different ways of adding dimension. So linear allows us to dimension either horizontally or vertically. So I would normally start at the end, and this time I'm going to add the grid as part of our dimension. So that would be my first dimension. Okay, now notice that my uh, dimension is really small. So something is wrong if that happens. So I'm going to go back. Maybe I forgot to set this to current. So set that to current and close. Okay, so now I'm ready to do my linear dimension, and hopefully this is correct. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to add this over here, not too far because yeah, I think my drawing area should be good enough. So start that there. And then I'm going to go and say dim, continue. So I'm going to continue with the edge of this. Now, having thought about it, most probably since our wall or when we are constructing this, they will start building using the metal stud. So maybe I don't need to do the wall anymore. Okay. So I'm just going to do the grid for this one. Okay. And again, because they'll start building from the metal stud and the rest can follow. Okay. So with that, I'll just do the grid this time. Okay. And then this one is where my interior wall is. So this is the center of that wall at the grid. So I'll assign that. Now this one, I need to uh, get the center of this wall and add that to my dimension. So I'm going to shift right click and say mid between 2 points. Get those 2 points, and that should add the dimension there. I do want to add the grid as well, and then to the grid. And I do want to add the end of the building footprint or the face of that wall to provide for the total dimension. Okay. So that's for our first level of dimension. Okay. The next will be the openings. So doors and window opening. So again, dim, right? Linear. DI is a shortcut key. Linear. And then we'll start here again. But this time, we would like to get the midpoint of our openings. So that's the midpoint of that first opening from the edge. So I'll just place it above, not too close to the dimension. So just a nice distance. And then I'll type DI again for continue, dim continue. So select dim continue, or DCO is the shortcut actually. But I don't want to remember too many shortcut keys, so DI is sufficient. Okay. Then I need to go to the midpoint of that opening. Now, the reason why we're doing the midpoint instead of providing the dimension for the width of the window and the door is because when we build a structure, normally things change. So the window specification might change, and with this, you can actually just tell the contractor that that's the center and the window can go from center to whatever size. So you need to pay attention on changes, uh, change orders as well. Okay, so we go and do the last. The last will be the uh, overall dimension. So overall, sometimes we do dimension the distance first for a cut in the floor plan as what is shown here. So before we go to the overall, sometimes we do this and then dim continue before we do the overall. Okay, so DI dim linear. Now we do the overall dimension. So in this case, we might have 4 levels of dimension. So the total dimension is 15,671. Okay. Next, we're going to do the side. So DI dim linear. So again, we start here to the grid. Oops, too far. So let's bring that down. Okay, and then we say dim continue. So we go to the grid and then we go here and then to the grid and then to the grid again and then to the edge and then to the grid and then to the edge and then to the grid and then to the edge. Okay. Next, we do the opening. We do have one opening here. So DI dim linear. So start from the edge to the midpoint. And then DI continue to the edge. Okay. And then from here, we'll do the overall of each of this cut. So maybe we don't need that, right? Because we already have, we'll just do the overall then. DI, dim linear. So we'll start here and then do the overall. Now try to, again, not go too close and try to maintain the distances that you have used. Okay. And then we do the one at the bottom. So DI, linear. So from here to the grid. Okay, DI, dim continue. So we'll do this. Okay, and then we'll do this. And then we'll do the grid. Okay, we'll do the center. So shift, right click, mid between 2 points. Okay, and then to the grid. And then to the grid again. And then to the middle of this interior wall, shift right click, meet between 2 points. Okay, and then to the grid, and then to the grid again, and then to the edge. We do need to delete that excess line. And then from here, we'll do the opening. So DI, dim linear, we'll just do the from here to the center of this opening. Okay, and then DI, select dim continue to the center of this opening, and then to the center of this opening. Now, it so happens that they coincide, so that's okay. And then to the edge. And then lastly, we'll do the overall dimension. So DI, dim linear, okay. Let's do that one more time on this side. So DI, dim linear, okay, from the edge to the grid. And now there's a door here, so I'm going to go beyond that door. DI, sorry, DI dim continue, DI dim continue. So I want to go to the grid and then to the grid again, 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 and then to the edge. Okay. I do have to fix this. I think there's an opening here, and we'll do that later. Okay, so DI, dim linear. So from here to the center of the opening, which is the door, place it somewhere here. Then DI, dim continue to the end. Okay. And then do the overall DI, dim linear, and to the edge. And place it about the same distance as you have for the first to the second dimension. So try to maintain that distance. Now, notice that there are some dimensions that are overlapping, like this one is overlapping the grid line. So you can select that and move this elsewhere. Try to avoid overlaps. Okay. So this one is also overlapping, right? So you'd like to select that and move it a little bit. So they are not overlapping each other. See, when it prints, sometimes the number gets to be unreadable and there might be confusion if that happens. Okay, so it's best that each of this is clear to the builder's eye, because these are contract documents. So moving them aside allows them to read it clearly without any doubt or question. regarding the dimension. So let's move them all. Okay, this one will do something else, something different. We're going to move the dimension line itself. Same is true with this one. So here. Okay. Now, for the second level, notice that this is really too long and it's overlapping our dimension. So we can select the two lines. There are two dimension lines here. So doing a crossing selection, and then we can move this to the dimension line for the first level. Okay, looks like we still need to move this so it doesn't intersect our dimension. Okay, so same is true with this. Move that there, and then move the dimension itself to the right. Okay, so select, move that there, so they don't intersect. And I think we moved that earlier, so that's good. Select the two-dimension lines by doing a crossing selection. Okay, and do that here as well. Okay, and we want to do that to the door it again as well. Okay, and here, so we do have this. So maybe I think we can maintain this. That's good. This one, the interior walls, we want it to not touch our building. And I can move this. Okay. I can move this. And this one, I don't want it to touch the building. So you do want to have a gap. Okay. And then it's good. And then here, uh, we want to move this up. And I think we're good. Okay, so that's dimensioning. We do need an opening here. That's for step one. And that could be arbitrary. So it doesn't have to be, uh, you know, any day. You can provide your own dimension. So I'll just create one here, an opening of, let's say, a meter. And it will be maybe from this wall also maybe 500 millimeters away. Let's try that. Sorry, offset by 500. Okay, and then offset by 1,000. Okay, and this should be in the wall layer. And I just need to extend this and shorten this one. Okay, and see, I could have extended and shortened the line so that I don't do it twice, that would be more efficient. Right? So efficiency is very important. So trim, and we have that opening. Now if we minimize this, we now have everything working with our dimensions added for the main floor plan.